Welcome back to the Sporting Eyes YouTube channel, and this is my first Supercoach team for 2024. I'm not as experienced in Supercoach as AFL Fantasy. This is about my 4th or 5th season doing Supercoach. If you haven't seen my AFL Fantasy team and you want to, it'll be in the top right hand corner of the video, so you can just click on that and check that out if you want. Supercoach, I do like this format a lot. The pricing is a lot lower than fantasy and it allows you to pick better starting teams, I think. We also have 40 trades now instead of 36, so it's actually up 4. And for the opening round, that won't count. And for rounds 2, 3, 5 and 6, where there are buys, it's only best 18. So both formats have made it pretty easy for everyone to play. So let's get into the defense straight away. Nick Dacos, I think he'll be the best defender by the end of the year. Can score in so many ways. Great Supercoach player because he uses the ball so well. If he's getting tagged in the midfield, they can just put him in defense. He can take the kickouts. Ridley is the unique one. I just think there's some value in him. That's why I'm picking him. The other guys like Sicily and Stewart, so expensive. Whereas Ridley, he's owned by about 7% of the competition. Average 95, had a couple injuries as well last year. But the main reason I'm picking him is I think because of Ben Mackay coming in and then either Laverde or Zach Reed, who I've got on the bench, taking the two biggest key defenders. It frees up Ridley to intercept, take some kickouts, intercept mark, and springboard attacks. So I think he can improve by a fair few points, maybe 5 to 10, and be around a top 6 defender at the end of the year. So I like him for now. Hayden Young, plenty of midfield time, big body, will get a lot of clearances, can probably drift back as well, take some intercept marks, great for Supercoach. Then Zach Williams, dirt cheap, should be 80 plus average, coming out of defence for Carlton, so I like him a lot. And then Dan Curtin, one of the rookies, guessing he'll play, that's why I've got him. And Nick Caulfield, really cheap. Unclear if he'll play, but if he does, you have to start him, or at least have him on the bench. And then Gibkiss and Reid are placeholders for now. I'm guessing both will play. Another one to keep an eye on is Marty Hoare for Melbourne, who is the same price as Caulfield. So very happy with that defence. Really only have the one kind of big dog in there, but I'm backing in Ridley, Young and Williams for those three to be pretty good at the start of the year at least. Moving into the midfield, so this is a clear difference from my AFL fantasy strategy. I'm paying up mainly because of the forward line, so we'll get to that later. Bonampelli is the big dog, the one that I'm picking instead of, say, Petrarca, Laird, Merritt, or even his teammate Liberatore. He only went under 100 once last year, has had a pretty good pre-season after having ankle surgery. Will be one of their highest centre bounce players. Just in his peak of his form, I can't make a Supercoach side without Bonampelli. Then two young guys, Butters and Green, who are fairly expensive, but I think there's growth in them. In Tom Green specifically, if he can get his kicking a bit better and can kick the ball a little more, he can skyrocket to 120 plus in this format because he already gets clearances and contested possession. And Butters had that bit of a slow start, and in a Supercoach scoring sense, yeah, his last couple months was just off the charts, scoring 140s and stuff, and I think that can continue on. Couple underpriced guys in Walsh and Steele. Variety of plays you could go with in these spots, like Guthrie, Ollie Wines. Even a guy like Lachie Neale, you could say he's a little underpriced, but these two had injuries. Walsh was at the start during pre-season, came home like a steam train. Steele was just interrupted all year, and I think both will bounce back and will be very high centre bounce players. Harley Reid is in the midfield, not the forward line, and he's paired with McKercher and Sanders. These three should be around the top 3 scoring rookies at this stage. And on the bench, I got Roberts, Sharp and Clark, placeholders. Sharp is a great chance to play, and I think Roberts is okay. The ruck line, not really much to explain here because this is going to be by far the most popular combo. Look at the percentage, 67-51. Jordan Sweet, if he starts and you wanted to be creative, you could start him or at least have him on the bench. But English and Marshall are so expensive, and when we have a guy like Grundy and then Gawn sitting there at their prices, you basically have to start them in Supercoach. And then the forward line, this is the big change compared to fantasy, and what has allowed me to have a pretty strong midfield with Bonampelli, Butters and Green especially. McRae is the most expensive one, average a tick under 100, 45% owned. I think he'll bounce back. Rib soreness was kind of the rumour. He just had a down year. He's out with that hamstring, but should play the practice games. Zach Fisher's got that rebounding role. We'll have free reign in the North Melbourne defence. If they're going to be as bad as some people expect, then plenty of the ball should be down there. Hoping he can take some kickouts, good link-up play, and scored very well in the Supercoach terms while playing down back for Carlton in a similar role he should have for North Melbourne. James Jordan, I haven't picked Taylor Adams, so I've just stuck with James Jordan. We'll have a look at Adams' price. Yeah, if you want to start Adams for, say, McRae, which I could do, depending on the pre-season, it's fair enough. But he's just a little bit too injury prone for this format with some of the limits around trades. So Jordan should play wing, on ball, forward, super cheap. I don't expect 90s or 100s, but enough to make some cash gen so we can upgrade him pretty quick. James Harmes kicked 4 goals in a match simulation, even cheaper than James Jordan, so I like him. I think he'll get pretty good on-ball minutes, and we know at the Bulldogs, even if you play kind of half forward, you come up to the stoppage, which I expect James Harmes to do. Jack Billings, Melbourne needed good kicks inside 50, and they identified him as a target. His role isn't clear at this stage, but I'm guessing it's going to be a wing half forward. That's what he seems most suited to. Maybe he can rotate with, say, Langdon and Hunter, and then when those two are on, he can play, regular half forward coming up the ground. I think he can score pretty well, 70s, 80s, just like Jordan and Harmes. These three are in a similar category. The main goal of them is they're not rookies who will score 40 or 50. They're a little more expensive, but with that, because they're seasoned players, they should be able to score 20 or 30 points more than if they were rookies. And then Finlay McRae, he's cheaper than Sanders, McKercher and Reid by far. On-ball minutes, and that's basically the premise of why he's in this team. And on the bench, it's Nate Caddy and Aaron Cadman. These are placeholders, but there are still plenty of options in the forward line. Because of the pricing, Tom Lynch is an option people like. He's only $287. He is a key forward, which normally in fantasy games is a no-no, but in Supercoach, he only needs to kick 3 or 4 goals and take a few marks and can get a pretty nice score. So keep an eye on him if he makes it to round 1. And then that Fife, he's $283. It seems like a trap to me, but if he's playing a lot of midfield time and looks like the old Fife, then I'm guessing he's going to be picked by a lot of players, and for good reason. So I'm pretty happy with the team at the moment. I have a lot of money in the bank still, so I can probably edit these rookies, say put a Jordan Sweet on the bench. If he pops up, I'll just put the vice captain on Walsh, because this will probably be the round 1 setup at this stage. But again, very happy with this team. Supercoach, I think, is a bit easier for the pricing, because you can fit all these kind of season players in at a really discounted price. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll probably give you an update on this Supercoach team and the AFL Fantasy one after the practice matches when we have a bit more information. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.